Have you ever heard of the Reising M55? If the answer is no, you're not alone. This firearm almost slipped through history unnoticed, even though it was part of one of the biggest conflicts in human history, World War II. Interesting, right? In a battlefield dominated by names like the Thompson and the M1 Garand, the Reising M55 got left behind. But did this underestimated weapon deserve to be forgotten? Or was it just a victim of the circumstances of war? Let's dig into this story together and figure out what really happened. For those of us who love firearms, especially ones with a rich military history, the Reising M55 is one of those pieces that stirs curiosity. How did a weapon with so much promise end up fading into the background? There's a lot more to this story than you might think. And if you're like me, someone who enjoys uncovering these overlooked stories, then get ready, because what we're about to dive into could completely change your view on the Reising M55's role in Wwii. Topic 1. The Rise of the Reising 55. The Reising M55 came onto the scene at a critical time when the U.S. was gearing up for World War II. Designed by Eugene Reising, the goal was to create a lightweight submachine gun that was easy to handle and could be mass-produced. On paper, it all made sense, especially compared to the famous Thompson, which was heavier and more expensive to produce. The promise was clear: a practical weapon, perfect for quick patrols and airborne troops. It seemed like the M55 was set to steal the spotlight. But history took a slightly different turn, as we'll see next. At first, the Reising M55 showed potential, especially for the Coast Guard and the Marines, who needed something light for combat in tighter areas like island landings. However, despite its compact design, the M55 soon began to show some flaws. Its blowback system didn't handle dirt and mud well, which wasn't ideal for the Pacific's tough conditions. Still, for a while it was distributed and used in combat, with some soldiers even praising its accuracy. It's curious how, despite early criticism, some still defended the Reising. Oh, and before we go deeper into this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any interesting content like this. And of course, drop a like if you're enjoying it so far. Topic 2. Performance on the battlefield. When it comes to war, the performance of a weapon truly defines its reputation. In the case of the Reising M55, the first battles in the Pacific exposed its weaknesses. It was a precise weapon in ideal conditions, but out in the field, where dirt, heat, and humidity dominated, the M55 started to fail. Many soldiers reported jamming issues and maintenance troubles. This was a huge blow, especially since, in a firefight, seconds of malfunction could cost a life. And the Reising M55 was starting to cost a lot of them, but don't be fooled. The weapon had its defenders, like some officers who praised its accuracy and low recoil. For those soldiers in more controlled environments or urban combat, the M55 still had value. The big issue was that the war wasn't being fought under ideal conditions. While the Thompson continued to prove reliable in a variety of situations, the M55 was quickly being sidelined. But what led to its rapid rejection? We'll explore more about the weapon's reliability issues in the next section. Topic 3. Reliability and mechanical problems. The biggest criticism of the Reising M55 was always its reliability, in a war where equipment could mean the difference between life and death. A gun that jams at the wrong moment is a serious problem. Its blowback system, which was supposed to be an advantage, turned out to be vulnerable to dirt. Picture this: you're in the middle of the jungle, your weapon is caked in mud, and just when you need it most, it won't fire. That was the reality for many soldiers. The Pacific didn't forgive weaknesses, and the Reising M55 had more than a few. Still, there were soldiers who managed to keep it running. Some more experienced troops figured out ways to clean and maintain the Reising to avoid the most common issues. But the extra effort wasn't exactly practical in the chaos of combat. When compared to other submachine guns of the time, like the British Sten or the American Thompson, The Reising M55 just wasn't on the same level. Interestingly, despite all its faults, there are still stories of soldiers who accomplished great feats with the M55, proving that not everything about it was bad. Topic 4. The decline of the Reising M55. As time went on, it became clear that the Reising M55 wasn't going to be the go-to weapon for American soldiers. As reports of malfunctions mounted, commanders began replacing it. The Thompson, with its proven reliability, regained favor, especially in critical operations. The Reising was gradually relegated to guard duty and other less intense roles, where the pressure for performance wasn't as high. It's ironic to think that a weapon designed to be innovative ended up being shelved so quickly. But the story of the Reising M55 doesn't end there. After the war, these guns started finding new owners in the civilian market. Many collectors and historical firearms enthusiasts began valuing the M55 as a relic of a past era. Where once it was seen as a problematic weapon, it was now part of history, a collector's item telling a unique story from World War II. And who knows, maybe if you look through your own collection, you might just find one of these tucked away, waiting to be rediscovered. Topic 5. The forgotten legacy of the Reising M55. Today, the Reising M55 is one of those weapons few remember, but it holds a special place in American military history. It's fascinating to see how, despite its failures, it still carries a certain allure among collectors and historians. Perhaps it's the fact that it was a promise unfulfilled that makes it so intriguing. After all, it's not every day you come across a gun that was once in the hands of World War II soldiers but didn't become an icon. This forgotten legacy is a reminder that not every innovation leads to immediate success. The Reising M55 may not have earned respect on the battlefield, but its historical value is undeniable. For firearm enthusiasts, the M55 is a piece that sparks curiosity and even a bit of nostalgia for an era of rapid military development. Who knows? Maybe in the future, the Reising M55 will be reevaluated in a new light. But for now, it remains a relic of American history, waiting to be rediscovered by those who appreciate what it stands for.